Sometimes when we like someone, we can do foolish things. And why do we do these foolish things? Because A, we like them so much, we want to try and do anything to ensure that they like us as long as possible. And B, we can get so carried away in having fun with them that we are so guided by our impulses, we cannot realize how we're coming across long term. Well, get your pen and pad ready for some notes because I'm about to help you create your never to do list. Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Kit, your personal dating coach, and in today's video I'm going to go through 5 deadly mistakes most girls make with guys that they really like, and I'm going to show you what you can do instead which helps you make the best impression possible. But before we get into that, you know I always love hearing from you guys, so make sure you come reach me on Instagram, send me a message and let me know what deadly sin did you commit, because I know you've definitely done one of these. All right, now let's get into the video. When we start seeing someone new, it's exciting because we've established that we really like them, that we've had chemistry with them, and we want it to go as best as we can. And part of it going as best as it can is us seeing that it's something that could have the potential to become long-term, that it's not just something that is like a casual fling for a few weeks. It's something that is over as quickly as it started. And that's why the things that we're gonna go through are all about helping you towards the goal of making the best impression so he knows that you're a woman to take seriously. Which brings us to the first one, sending naked pics. Look, I know the thought of him turns you on, you know, it has your wild imagination going, and maybe you've done a little bit of sexting. But you need to remember that he's not your man yet, and you're not his woman. You don't really know him that well just yet. And there's no guarantee that things are gonna go in the way that you think it might. Yet, some girls seem to be perfectly happy with sending permanent naked photos to a guy that has made 0 promises to them. He's not promised to take you on holiday, he's not promised to be exclusive to you, nothing, nada. Oh, and best believe those photos are permanent. No guy, I repeat, no guy deletes naked pics from a girl that has sent to him. Even if they stop seeing each other, even if he starts seeing someone else, those photos are gonna be on his phone for as long as you can imagine. And he'll never tell you. Now, some of you may be thinking,
oh, I can't believe a guy would keep naked photos of a girl that he's not even with anymore. That is so gross.
No. The fault's not with the guy. The fault is with the girl who sent him a naked picture of herself when they'd only been seeing each other for 3 weeks. She's only herself to blame. And also, if you're wanting something serious, sending nude photos really early on is contradictory. It's contradicting to what you say that you want, that you say that you want to invest in. Like, you're sending nude photos of yourself, but you say you want a serious relationship. That's sending the wrong message. I mean, think to yourself, you know when you start seeing a guy and it's still early on and he sends you a dick pic, how much do you think he was thinking about your personality when he was deciding to do that? Yeah, not that much. Now, is this saying that you can never send any photos? No. Of course not. The solution is you only send explicit photos when he has proven himself to you and he has earned your trust. Nude photos are fine when you're in a committed relationship, or they're even fine when you have both established that you're being exclusive to each other. And I really want to emphasize when you both have established it, not when only you have established it. Because at this point, whether you're in a relationship or you know that you guys are exclusive, you have built a foundation of trust already. But if it's early days and you really want to send something, just to, you know, make him drool a little bit, then just send him a picture of you in your undies. Bra and knickers is sexy, but tasteful. The next thing to avoid is giving a time frame of if and when you'd have sex. Look, it is absolutely fine to have a time frame, but you keep that knowledge to yourself. You don't tell a guy when it is that he might get the goods. And this does you a disservice for 2 reasons. One, it makes it easy for him to go into the mindset of him just counting down the number of dates until, you know, he gets the golden ticket. It means that he's actually not focusing on the time getting to know you, only counting down, okay, Friday, by my calculations, I should be getting some. And the other reason is that if you say, for example, okay, you do it by like the 4th date is when you usually would, when that 4th date comes, there's now pressure on you to deliver. And you don't know how you're gonna feel that day. You may only be in a mood for a kiss and a cuddle. Maybe it's your time of the month. Or maybe you just feel like a kiss and nothing more. But because you told him the 4th date, you know, the date ends, he walks you to your door, you share a kiss, and then you don't invite him in. He's gonna think that you are a massive cock tease and that you are just playing games with him. And then he's left to go home with blue balls, and that's no fun either. Because there is nothing worse for a guy than a girl that you're seeing inviting you over, making inclinations that she wants to have sex with you, but then it doesn't happen. Because for a guy, it's like,
well, the only reason I had it in my head was because you put it in my head.
so what's the solution? You don't give a time frame at all. No 3rd date, no holiday, no 2nd month, nothing. And if a guy ever asks you what your time frame is, in which it actually says more about him than it does about the actual question. But if a guy actually does ask you that, you respond with this. I don't know. It depends on how I connect with the person. Wink, wink. And this is a perfect response because you cover all areas. You're not saying yes or no for it to happen at any specific point, which is exciting for him because for him it's like, well, yo, this could happen at any moment. I mean, you know it's not gonna happen that early on, but he doesn't need to know that. It's flirty, it's teasing. It makes him think, oh, well, I hope she is vibing with me because I do want to be intimate with her. You've shown him that you don't just have sex with anyone. That connection actually matters to you before you give your body in an intimate way. And this is something that shows that you are girlfriend material. And of course, this is essential for a guy taking you seriously. This next one to avoid with a guy you like, and it's so sneaky, and it's my favorite because it's the most common one that most women do. Most women make this mistake with someone that they like, and it's this: you never actually go out on dates. And what I mean by that is all your dates, as in the time that you spend time with him, they all happen behind closed doors, likely ending up in the bedroom. And this is so tricky because there's nothing wrong with having dates at home, but a lot of women get into the pattern of just existing in a space with the guy they like where they're probably gonna have sex. And it's easy to miss this because you're so focused on liking him and wanting to make a good impression and trying to figure him out. You've not realized that every time you see each other, you're just having sex and you actually hardly spend any time out in public. That it's just become a routine of you go to his, you cuddle, you have sex, and then you leave in the morning, or he comes to yours. And while this is nice and fun in the moment, this is a one-way ticket to the friends with benefit zone. So what's the solution? You make every other date one in public, at least for the first couple of months. I cannot stress how important it is to have this precedent really early on. You don't want it to become a habit where when he thinks about you, all he thinks about is sex. Now, of course, you want him to think about sex with you sometimes because you want to be able to turn him on and you want that to be part of your relationship, but you also want him to indulge in connecting with who you are. You want him to think about what you like, what you don't like, what your dreams are, what you want from life, what he likes of you outside of the physical. Whereas only having Netflix and chill dates, you're saying that he doesn't really need to make an effort in those other areas with you. You're saying that as long as he puts on some popcorn in a microwave and chooses a good film, you are perfectly satisfied with that dynamic and not going anywhere further than that. This isn't about him spending money on you. Like, come on, let's not be gold diggers here. But it's about how much effort does he put into spending time with you? How much effort does he show to try and have a shared experience with you? You know, how far in advance does he ask to see you? Which ties into the next one, accepting booty calls. You know, going over to his last minute at an hour where you should be sleeping. He woke you up to see if you wanted company at 1 a.m. It's a hot no from me. Now, there's nothing wrong with doing this under certain circumstances, or there's nothing wrong with it happening once in a while, but more than once and in the first couple of months, absolutely not. This is definitely not a habit that you want to get into because one, he loses interest in who you are, and two, it actually fosters a lack of respect. And please show me a healthy relationship that is built on a lack of respect. There's none. The solution? Well, if he tries to do this with you more than once, this is how you respond. As much as I'd love to see you tonight, we both know I'm worth a lot more than a booty call. It's playful, it's teasing, but more importantly, you set a standard. And it is so important to set the standard, especially as a woman when it comes to sex. There is an epidemic of situationships going on in the world right now, and this is the main reason why. Next thing to avoid, being clingy. Now this one's tricky because how do you know when you're being clingy? To you, you're just asking him to see how his day went, but to him, it feels like you're trying to get him on a tight leash. And being clingy is the #1 way to turn someone off you, especially if it's really early on, so it kind of feels unjustified. I mean, you must have had it yourself where there was a guy who clearly liked you a lot and he was just trying to talk to you and text you all the time, and you were just like, oh, just give me 1 second, leave me alone. From that point, any chance of you actually liking him went straight out the window. So don't be that person for the guy that you like. But how do you know if you are being clingy? Well, I've kind of created the 3 pillars to clinginess. And those 3 pillars are: 1, you always text him first. 2, you try to text him every day. And 3, if he doesn't respond as quickly as you'd like, you immediately think he doesn't like you anymore. These 3 things put together, they just stink of desperation. And you don't want to come across as desperate. You want to show him that, hey, you're a woman who's desirable and you're choosing him. So what's the solution? You call him every few days to catch up. It's so much better not to chat for a few days and then have like an hour's call than to be trying to text him constantly 24/7. Now you may feel like calling him feels a bit invasive. It feels a bit forceful, but in this manner, it doesn't come across that way at all. Because what you're showing is you're not a little girl who needs constant feeding every day for her to be satisfied with him. You're showing that you're a grown woman who has a life, but you like to take time out to have an actual conversation with him. And if you're worried about calling him, especially that first time, on the night that you actually want to have a chat with him, send him this text in the afternoon. Hey stranger, I hope you're all good. Would love to catch up over the phone tonight. Ring me later. And what's great about doing it this way is not only are you actually getting a phone call, but he's the one ringing you. You've given him guidance on how he can take the lead. And as guys, we love that. We love it when a woman shows us how she wants to be led. Because the truth is, most of us, we don't get it right all the time. This is a much mature way of getting to know someone and for him to take you more seriously. If you're looking for a guy who sparks up your love life, then make sure you subscribe to this wonderful tribe. And as always, keep it slick.
How?